Better answer that, hadn't you?
You
never heard a word, Superintendent.
See? See? Okay? No. Momento. There's a journalist downstairs. She wants to see you.
Oh, my God. It's that Folletti woman from Lunita.
No, Maria Folletti.
City Hall ordered me to see her to try and quieten her down.
I've read her stuff. She's a bloody viper.
Better get her up here. We don't want to put her back up any worse.
You could wait in my office. We'll get rid of her as quickly as possible.
Well, I'm fine right here.
If she finds out why his honour's here, it'll ruin everything.
On the other hand, the judge's quick thinking could prove an invaluable asset if she starts to sling loaded questions.
But the main thing is we're not compromised.
Constable! Clear that stuff up out there.
Yes, sir. You tip me the wink and I'll stick my oar in, Superintendent.
You're too kind, Your Honour.
You see? One, Your Honour, and we're done for.
Excuse me, sir. Couldn't His Honour pretend to be somebody else?
Wonderful idea.
What? I know. Captain Rossetti, a friend of mine in forensics from Rome.
Terrific.
Can you bluff your way in forensics?
No problem. I'll need a disguise, of course. Can't work without costume.
Oh, dear.
Don't worry. I have everything I need right here.
Tell them to send her up.
Okay, send her up.
Constable, meet her from the left.
I'll just change in here.
You don't know how much we appreciate this, Your Honour.
Never let it be said, Superintendent, that I would abandon my friends in their hour of need. See you later.
That man is a genius.
Well, I'm not at all sure about this.
Maria Folletti, sir.
Miss Folletti.
Delighted to meet you. I'm the superintendent. Allow me to introduce my colleague, Inspector Piss Annie, in charge of this department.
Pleased to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine.
Do sit down.
Thank you. I shan't beat around the bush. As you may be aware, my paper has been less than enthusiastic about the flagrant public whitewashing given to recent events in this building by the city coroner's office.
That may be because your paper prefers to deal in rumor rather than fact, if I may say so without being personal, Miss Folletti. Even so, I have read your articles with interest. You have struck me as a woman of great courage, a true Democrat, a lover of justice.
You're too kind. I'd like to begin by asking the inspector a couple of questions.
Certainly.
Why do people call you the window straddler?
I beg your pardon.
This is a copy of a letter written by a young student now in San Vittore prison. The inspector on the 5th floor forced me to sit on the windowsill with my legs hanging out. Throw yourself out, he said. Jump, go on, or haven't you got the guts?
I resent this.
I trust you don't attach more importance to the words of a condemned man than to those of a police officer. Ah! Perhaps you'll allow my colleague to join us, a forensic expert from Rome. Come in! Captain Rossetti, allow me to introduce Maria.
Delighted. Do pardon the stiff hand. It's wooden. General Belgrano. It's nasty business. Still waiting for them to hold a public inquiry, you know. Who do you think you are, Arthur Negus? Do take a seat, young lady. Right, no smoking, please. Lots of dry wood around here. I'll just park me old timbers over here, and you get stuck in. What's the subject?
Window straddling.
Splendid.
According to the evidence of the emergency services, a call was registered from the switchboard of this building on the night of the alleged suicide at 2 minutes to 12. Now, the call was a request for ambulance services, but witnesses to the suicide all agree it took place at 3 minutes past 12. Can you explain this?
Oh, it's a crime to be prudent and show a bit of foresight now, is it?
You see, we often call an ambulance on the off chance.
Anyway, the clock which registered our call in the hospital was probably slow.
More than likely.
Extraordinary.
Why extraordinary, madam? This isn't Switzerland, you know. We set our clocks as we bloody well fancy here. We are Italian.
Well said, Captain.
Mind the eye.
Aye?
It's glass. You'll knock it out.
Just what are you driving at, Miss Folletti?
Among the documents of the inquiry produced by the coroner, there is no sign of any expert analysis of the parabola of the fall.
Parabola.
Parabola.
In other words, did the anarchist pass through the window with a voluntary movement, thus clearing the side of the building, or did he, as appears, slide down the wall, sustaining fractures and lesions consistent with an inanimate object? Were the suicide's hands injured in such a way as to indicate he put them out to protect himself instinctively at the moment of impact? All this would indicate whether he was conscious or not.
I think I ought to point out here, madam, that we are dealing with a case of suicide, you know. The bastard wanted to die, so why the bloody hell would he put his hands out?
Splendidly answered. Mind the eye.
If the suspect was unconscious, it would certainly explain the bruises seen on his neck.
I advise you against careless talk, young lady.
Is that a threat?
Not at all, not at all, no, you'll see. There were indeed bruises on the young man's neck. These were caused during the final interrogation just towards midnight. What? One of the police officers, I'm afraid, became slightly impatient and he struck the suspect a rather nasty blow to the nape of the neck.
What?
Regrettable but true.
Have you gone mad?
16 times precisely. The blow caused partial paralysis and the suspect had momentary difficulty in breathing. An ambulance was called immediately. At the same time, 2 officers assisted the suspect to the open window here, supporting him as he leant out to breathe in a few reviving gulps of cold night air. Now, as is often the case in such events, Miss Folletti, each of the officers thought the other had the stronger hold. You know the sort of thing. To me, Giacomo, okay, Batista, whoops-a-daisy, out he goes. What more can one say?
Brilliant! Such simple, classic. Well said,
Oh, that's it. Sod it. I told you it's gone. What? The eye's out, everybody down.
A very clever account, Captain.
It's not bad, eh?
It certainly explains the strange terminology employed by the coroner's court.
What strange terminology?
Do try to be more precise, madam. Have you found it yet?
What colour is it?
It's see-through, you dumbo. It's an eye.
Come in.
Bertoccio.
Sorry, am I interrupting? I came to deliver this.
What is it?
My nose. No, it's a reproduction of the bomb planted in the airline office.
Splendid. Stick it on the desk, will you?
Yes.
How's that?
What the hell was that?
My eye, this yours?
Don't be alarmed, no detonator.
Oh, thank God for that.
Oh, look what a mess you've made of my eye. Constable, could you get me a glass of water to wash it in, please?
Your face looks very familiar.
Oh, that'll be because we've both got bandaged eyes.
Inspector Bertoccio, allow me to introduce Captain Rossetti of the Forensic Department.
Rossetti, that's impossible. I know Captain Rossetti.
No, you don't.
You kicked me. You're assaulting me again. Why?
That's quite enough.
I want to know why you punched me in the eye.
He didn't punch you, he kicked you.
The insults and the raspberry.
What's raspberry?
That's enough.
My mind's reeling.
Can't you see we have visitors?
That is not Captain.
Rossetti.
Got it.
No.
Rossetti.
Your water, sir. Thank you, Constable.
And this is Miss Folletti.
We'll explain later.
Miss Folletti is a journalist.
Understand now?
No.
She's come here for a very important interview.
See?
No. Hello.
How do you do?
I'll swallow the eye.
Inspector Bertoccio is our explosives and ballistics expert.
Oh, really?
Do you think it'll see me through the night?
I wonder if I could ask the inspector a couple of questions.
Of course.
You say this is a reproduction of the bomb used at the airline office?
Based on fragments of the original.
So although it's a real bomb, it doesn't reveal the same information about its makers as the original bomb would have.
True.
But wasn't the bomb at the airline office recovered unexploded?
Yes.
In fact, it was an officer from this building who exploded the device within minutes of its discovery, was it not?
I don't understand.
Perhaps you'd allow me a word here, Inspector Bertoccio, in my capacity as Chief of the Forensics Department.
You do know what you're doing with that, don't you?
I haven't the foggiest idea. Now, you see here, Mr. Folletti, this bomb is highly complex. Now, this here could be a timing device, priming device, double timing priming device, some sort of acid booby trap. We just don't know, you see. There you are, merrily taking it to bits and boom. Up go you and the evidence. Not worth the risk, really, is it?
Utterly convincing.
Well, I'm convinced.
So am I.
I've even convinced myself. Not bad, eh?
Sir, the bomb may have been booby-trapped.
Indeed.
A sophisticated bomb.
Obviously the work of a professional.
A military man, perhaps?
More than likely.
You admit these bombs require military skill to assemble. So why, Superintendent, do you persist in concentrating your entire efforts on the most pathetic and disorganized group of anarchists in Italy?
Pathetic they may look, but their disorganization is only a cunning facade.
And what do we find behind this cunning facade, Inspector? I'll tell you. A group of 10. One who is now dead, another under arrest in Rome, a third an informer paid by this office, a detective from the drug squad, and a well-known ex-paratroop member of the fascist MSI, clearly seen in these photographs going in and out of this very building.
Oh, well said, Miss Folletti. Admit it, superintendent, she has drawn blood. Congratulations.
Thank you. Your hand!
Keep it, I've got a spare.
I know him, I tell you, I know him.
So do we.
Oh,
It's a woman!
It's unisex.
This woman is getting out of hand.
Listen! There have been 173 dynamite attacks in the last 14 months. That's 12 a month, one every 3 days. It has been proved that 150 of these were the work of known fascists. Would you agree with those figures, Superintendent?
Sound a little exaggerated to me,
But basically correct.
maybe.
We can have them checked out.
What are you hoping to achieve by these rather provocative tactics, Miss Folletti?
Viper.
Are you trying to get us to admit that decent police officers are conspiring with paramilitary fascist organizations to perpetrate atrocities?
Just his technique. Jesuit dialectics.
Are you suggesting that government ministers, members of the judiciary, perhaps even Mother Church, are accessories to terrorism?
Has he gone mad?
Mad? That the arming and training of fascist bands is financed by the Greek junta and top industrialists in Italy and Spain?
mad?
Yes, Miss Folletti, why not bring some real pus to the surface?
What? Mad? It's him. It's that maniac. He's in disguise.
So what's new?
He's a madman. You're a madman.
You are a journalist for the biggest Communist Party paper in Europe, Miss Folletti. Naturally, you want to use your pen to lance the public boil. But what will you achieve? A huge scandal? A heap of big knobs shunted off into retirement.
That wouldn't be a bad day's work.
But what happens? The party gets a pat on the back, the state remains, and it's business as usual.
Look, see, he's got an eye. Fuck it.
Of course he's got a fucking eye.
He's got two.
Well, that's the normal number, isn't it?
Why was he wearing an eye patch if he's got a bloody eye then?
For amusement.
There you are.
For amusement, see?
Ha ha, fucking hard, eh?
He is not Dino.
Where were we?
Scandal!
Ah, yes, the people want truth, so offer them scandal. The people want jobs, houses, health. The economic system can't provide, so offer the people reform. The state goes on like Old Man River, still presenting corruption as the exception to the rule, when the system the state was designed to protect is corruption itself. Corruption is the rule.
You give us a fuck, and I let you off.
Just who exactly are you?
Exactly. Look! It's his leg! It's false!
Of course it's false. It's a false leg.
It's a false leg!
Just what is going on here?
I do apologise, Miss Folletti, but the inspector's mordant epilepsy appears to have taken a turn for the worse.
I am not an epileptic! That man is an imposter! He is not crazy! Hands up, Buskins, who all I fire! Everyone, I warn you, I'm no longer responsible! Right, miss, give me the honour of handcuffing this lot. Over there, you two, to the pillar. What? Move. All right, move.
All right, calm down. Right.
You, over there. Right. You asshole. You'll do me the honour of telling these people exactly who you are.
With the greatest of pleasure.
That's it. Show them all the documents, all the records from the psychiatric
You
clinic.
see, 50 years ago, Miss Folletti, the workers of Europe wanted a revolution. What did they get instead? They got depression, they got war, they got a smothering dose of reforms and an avalanche of promises.
Subject to paranoid fit.
Psychiatric hospitals of Imola.
Forget her.
You see?
Scandal, people love it. It's like the smell of your own shit.
He's a lunatic.
Exactly.
You mean a mental case came in here, passed himself off as a judge, reopened the inquiry?
Made me sick.
Yes, he's a nutcase, a maniac.
When I think of what he put me through.
Nothing to what I'm going to put you through now.
It's all me now, is it? You didn't enjoy yourself, I suppose.
Oh, was having a laugh. Yes, we said that, didn't we, Constable?
Some laugh, eh? Laughing now, aren't we?
Well, I was only scaring him. You're the bloody nutter.
I'm bloody nutter.
Well, you bloody pushed him, chum.
Did I? All right. All on my own, was I?
Everything's on there in glorious Dolby mono.